Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Chango Libre, maybe.
Bienvenidos a Chango Libre. Sorry, I hit the SAP button there for a second.
So, recently we were just talking about disappointments, I guess. And Wolf brought up the, disappointment of what, movies and bands, you said? Or
yeah,
overrated?
there was an idea that Doc had about bands. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, ooh. Yeah. I know there's at least two movies that I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in. I just think they're not as good as a lot of people think.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, if you've heard any of our previous episodes, knows that there's a big disappointment for me in the Injustice movie, but,
You have to think of other ones.
Yeah. How about Injustice and Injustice Again?
Electric Boogaloo.
I know. How about the movie is appropriately named? It's an injustice to the fucking, to what it was created off of. But let's start off with you, Wolf, and I'll go last to try to think of something else other than Injustice.
So, one for me, it's a very beautiful, stunning movie, mm-hmm. but it's just boring to me, and that's Avatar.
The James Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful movie, beautiful visuals, the effects and everything is stunning. I'm just bored by the movie.
How dare you? Nah, I don't care. I'm not being paid, so.
I remember one person I think when it came out, they were like, it's a more advanced version of Pocahontas. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, yeah, I can see that. But where, everything, visuals and everything is beautiful, I just can't find myself to care.
So you will not be seeing the sequel then? Sequels.
Probably not. There's a slotted sequel?
Yep.
Really?
They're working on it right now, back to back.
Wasn't the second one supposed to be set 10 or so years after?
Yeah, James Cameron waited until the technology was around for him to be able to do what he wanted to do.
Fucking James Cameron.
Goddamn, raising the bar.
No, I mean, I actually liked the movie. I'm not going to say that, I'm jumping over the moon over it,
Yeah.
I agree with Wolf. Visually, it was stunning.
Okay.
I will say, and some people in this room might disagree with me here. So, in fact, these are franchises.
Okay.
Harry Potter. Can't stand it. Not that I can't stand it. Honestly, they put me to sleep.
I get you.
So, to me, I'm like, I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, our sister's
Significant
other, fire chief,
That's going to be his code name from now.
Right. Loves those movies.
Chief Fire.
Right. Loves those movies. Can watch them over and over again. And I don't know how. I just don't. I mean, and it's not to pick on them or anything. I just don't see it.
No, I get you.
And then there's 8 movies.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right off the top of my head, the biggest thing I could think of that is in the same vein as you guys would be Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
Yeah.
And, again, if you've heard any of the previous, episodes, you know that I'm a big fan of animation, and whatnot. So, that's mainly the reason, because it's there's already a story there for you. How did you fuck up this bad? Yeah.
I agree. I thought it would be a lot cooler because when you watch it on 3D, mm-hmm. some of it's okay, but realistically, it's one of those cheesy 3D things because you realize that there's only a couple of spots where it's 3D, and then you realize okay, so you just cheese that up with 3D, to get suckers like me to watch it.
Well, at least you're honest. Which you just gave me my second disappointing movie. Now that I remember. And I'll go ahead and say it before I forget, because I will forget. And pretty much for the same reason as what you just said. The shit poor 3D work of it. The new Clash of the Titans.
I agree. I actually watched it, and again, the 3D part of it was just to say there's 3 in it.
Yeah.
And it was literally like one small part of it. You're like, so.
It's like Liam Neeson is coming at me. Oh shit! Like ooh. But yeah, like if we're doing 2, those would be my top 2, and that's because I never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender all the way through. I started watching it, and then I was like, no, just no. And then I actually went to go watch the new Clash of the Titans movies on the day it came out in IMAX with the 3D glasses and everything. So it was possibly the best possible experience I could have had with that movie. And it was shit poor, you know?
That I agree with.
I'm going to technically cheat on my second one.
Okay.
Because literally these franchises, they're the same. Like, there's... it's The Conjuring and The Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like the few kind of like standouts that they have from them, like, they don't feel as shitty.
Yeah.
But it's like, they all rely on the same type of, like,
Jump scares.
Like, jump scares formula. You kind of know what's coming before anything's set up. Like, from the Halloween special, like, I love horror, so I watch a lot of horror movies, so at this point, like, I know what the hell's gonna happen.
So when you said the Halloween special, I was like, what Halloween special? I'm forgetting that we did a Halloween special.
The Charlie Brown one?
Like, you don't remember the Paranormal Halloween crossover? It was Charlie Brown, I think the Globetrotters were there.
Scooby-Doo.
I will say I did like the first Conjuring.
Yes, as the first one was good, mostly I think is because it was fucking directed by James Wan.
Yeah, like, I will say, like, that one is probably by far one of the biggest standouts of that series.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, afterwards, everything just kind of devolves.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that because James Wan did more than just one.
Yes.
And I think there was such an opportunity with some of the characters he created in there. Like the nun, visually, I like the character.
Yeah.
It looks like Marilyn Manson in a nun outfit, but nonetheless, I mean, it was a really, really good character. The Slender Man, or you know what I'm talking about?
The Thin Man or something.
Yeah, the Thin Man.
That guy.
That guy, I thought that was a good character that they could have done. I thought there was one more, but you know, there was great opportunity with those characters, but I'm like, nothing's been done with them, so I'm like, eh. But I would say I liked the first Conjuring. Other than that, it was like downhill from there.
Yeah. And I think it's just because they leaned too heavily into the jump scare mechanics, or the jump scare. Because me and, Monkey Wife Rosa, who was in the previous episode, went to go see The Nun when it first came out. Because, we were liking the movies, and it was just like... But it was that movie that I was just like... That it made me realize that I was like, all right, cool. Like, watching it, and then like there's be a suspenseful moment. And then it's like, no jump scare for you? Ha! We like jump scare. And it's like, okay, well, it's like, when you start to see them coming is just...
Yeah.
Like, the Paranormal Activity, like, legit, I think was the only movie I remember leaving angry.
Jesus.
Because it was fucking a waste of my time.
I think for me, sorry, let's go ahead and do the Doc's last one. Sorry,
no, we're fine. I was going to say Lord of the Rings just because there's times that it was seemed really longer than it had to be.
Yeah.
But
I would tell you that I could disagree with you on that one.
I agree on the time. Like, you have to set your day aside for those.
Yes.
Yeah. You can go both.
So,
you can both go
other than that,
I love them, but...
other than the time, and now I will say that the Hobbit movies, I really enjoyed those movies.
Mm-hmm.
So... I know it's kind of contradicting myself there because those were equally as long. But I don't know. I really just enjoyed more those movies than I did Lord of the Rings.
So we found out that Alfredo...
So we found out that Doc...
we found out that Doc really hates...
No, I didn't say hates. I say I don't like the amount of time that we spent watching Lord of the Rings.
Like, you You enjoy children's humor more than adult humor. Got it.
Going to edit the video, so it's going to be like, I hate Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. We're going to take every single bit of your words and just edit it to make you look terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
At this point, don't really care.
Was that really your second one? Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
I said, it's I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It just, you literally, like you just said, you have to set time aside to watch one.
Yeah.
Like now, there's people that are going to watch them back to back to back, and I can't imagine that because there's no way.
That's a whole day.
yeah, it's a 12-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's one movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's like, no. Like I'll try to watch the original trilogy for Star Wars, but those are movies that you can really hate. Damn, I completely missed on that. The last Star Wars trilogy, horrible, terrible.
Yes. I think with the Lord of the Rings thing is that there's so much depth into those like moments. Because like you do have moments where they're standing around talking about like battle planes and stuff like that. And the Hobbit's trilogy is essentially hit the ground running. Which it does fit the feel of the book, with it being like an overall adventure. And, like I get that. I get why like more general audiences liked the Hobbit feel over Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And why Lord of the Rings gets its hate for its runtime.
But I will say, to edit my comments,
So he doesn't get it out of that context.
Star Wars is a lot. The last trilogy for Star Wars is like ultimate hate.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Like, I honestly started watching those movies not wanting to hate it. Second movie, I actually liked the chubby Asian chick. Thought she was cute, just playing out. Maybe her character was kind of flat. But
Not even her character was flat. It didn't serve a purpose.
no, yeah, that's what I mean. Like she was two-dimensional character that was just there just to be there. But
I mean, she might as well have just been a stop sign on the way to the end of the movie, because realistically,
I
that
feel
movie
like-
so...
I feel like it's like with the original trilogy, they tried to catch some of that like chemistry or like feel that like you have with all these extra characters besides the main in this one, and it just fell flat because it's like you said, characters serve no point in like the story at all.
I mean, realistically, like even the prequels, right, seem to try to copycat the same original trilogy. They try to sit there and realistically, they really wanted you to care about these characters.
Yeah.
But those characters were poorly written. George Lucas looking right at you. You know, Anakin, you know, those characters. I'm not even going to bring up Jar Jar Binks because, I mean, that's a whole different level of hate.
we can at least just put him in a category. He was meant for kids and just leave it there because he was
a toy seller. That's what it was.
That's exactly what he was.
Yes.
And that's the only way I'll justify him being in that movie. Because he was meant to sell toys. He did his job. Get the fuck out.
So here's my question. Is the new trilogy worse or better than the prequel?
Worse. Like, just worse. Like, the by all means, the prequel trilogy, like, has its faults, but there's still a good storyline, like, woven in there, you know? Like, this
You
new...
get to see how Darth Vader became Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I think a lot of people forget about that. Is that like the prequels? Like again, they're a prequel, and we know what happens, but it's a nice way to kind of like see how these things turn out.
Yeah. The sequel trilogy felt like they had an idea for a story, and they're like, let's just start shooting without really knowing where we're going and see how it winds up. And
it was bad. I mean, just because
throw it to the wall, see if it sticks.
If you really analyze that movie, it's not even that. It's just they're literally copying the original trilogy.
Yeah, I know. George Lucas said it's supposed to be like a poem, and that each verse kind of reflects the previous, but at the same time, that's just like there's reflecting the previous.
Realistically,
like you can reflect with that copy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't give a shit how he spins it. He himself is pissed off.
Yeah.
About the trilogy. He wanted to make his own versions to prove it. So I'm like, don't give me that. Not you, but don't give me that crap about. Oh, it's a poem.
Louis.
No, it's not.
No, I get you.
Because you wanted to make, I mean, maybe that was him spinning it to make a... No, bro. You wanted to make your own version of that trilogy to show what it could have been. And if it's like the prequels, then you need to sit your ass down too, because it's not like you're doing a great job. The only person that needs to touch anything Star Wars from now on is Jon Favreau, because you cannot tell me you cannot write a good Star Wars anything if Favreau completely came up with The Mandalorian, and that was excellent storytelling.
Yeah.
But that trilogy, that was just horrible. Starting off with Luke milking getting that blue milk out of there, that was horrible.
So, like, one complaint on the new trilogy that I've heard a lot is that, like, it kind of goes against the establishment of what, like, is possible in the Star Wars world. And, like, some characters from, like, when we last saw them to now, like, they completely have a complete 180 outlook.
Honestly, to me, and I'm not saying that's not true, to me, you borrowed too much from the original trilogy. You had characters like Rey was okay. I'll tell you my favorite character, and you're gonna laugh. Stupid little round droid.
BB-8, yeah. BB-8 was great.
Yeah, but that's pretty sad.
Yeah.
That the character that I cared about in that whole movie was the droid.
Yeah.
I mean, Han Solo got killed off. Chewie was there, riding around with Rey. You would have figured that Rey you cared about. Nope. Why? She was orphaned. Oh, look, Luke was orphaned. And it was like the John Boyega character, Finn. Again,
I actually really wanted them to do something with his character, but
Like,
they abandoned his storyline. Just
the first one in that arc, there's like, oh, okay, set it up, and then the second one, and then you're okay.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential. Like even the evil character Phasma.
Yeah,
the all silver stormtrooper.
Chromed out.
Yeah,
and they made her weak too. I mean, because all of a sudden it's like, jump in that trash can. All right, whoop, let me just throw myself in there. I'm like,
yeah, like
they had. I'm not saying they visually didn't have good characters to work with.
No, I know, but I'm saying
yes,
it's because they had visually good characters to work with that
you did nothing with.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, okay, like it's kind of like the whole like the Boba Fett thing. It's like they didn't expect him to be such a fan favorite character that they brought him back. But they killed off so many characters with this, and they didn't give him enough storyline to make you care about them that you're like, okay, I don't care if Phasma comes back. She looked cool, but fuck do I care?
Yep. I mean, realistically, I was just like, it was just so horrible that, I mean, nobody cared about it. And of course, like I said, some of them were like, oh, well, it's kind of hard to tell, a good Star Wars movie, and then people don't want to let go of the trilogy.
I mean,
like your original trilogy was better than the prequels. It's better than the first movie that you had, which were, and I was making excuses for it, like, okay, you got to give it a chance. Maybe it's just a building block, But I mean, the character by itself, man, the guy. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Rogue One come out before the new trilogy?
I think it came out after the first one, didn't it?
I don't even remember.
Oh,
Rogue
whatever.
One, I fell asleep to. I'll be honest with you.
They made a huge mistake with Rogue One, and I'm not saying like canonically. I don't know it canonically, but like if they had announced like Rogue One and then just said, okay, this is going to be a Star Wars movie, that would have been perfect right there. Just leave it right there. But they're like, this is going to be the spies that got the Death Star plans. Why did you say that? We already know how that story ends.
Bad.
Like, okay, like Leia literally comes out like, we lost many lives during this. I'm like, okay, cool. Rogue One, they're all gonna die at the end. Why? Because it's already been established that that's what happens.
No, I do think they did like something good where you see Darth Vader actually
That was the best part of that movie.
like go off, and it's just like, okay, yay! And I wasted how much time?
You know, the funny thing that out of all those separate movies, and even based on the last trilogy, out of all of those,
I know where you're going, I think.
my favorite movie was the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not telling you it was a great script, but I did like that they showed how Han met Chewie and Cloud City. Oh my God, the Billy D. Williams character.
Lando, yeah.
Yes, Lando.
Lando Calrissian.
How he got the Millennium Falcon.
I'm Billy D.
But the best part of that movie was Darth Maul at the end of it.
Ooh.
Oh, you never seen it? Oops.
No, I haven't seen Han, but I don't care about spoilers.
Spoilers, everybody.
I mean, hey, if you don't know by now, then you go ahead. I'm spoiling it.
Yeah, I don't care.
But realistically, they had some really good characters in there. That movie, I thought there was a big cluster, with the changing of directors. But the reality, that was probably one of the better Star Wars movie, and it was reviewed badly. All the fanboys hated it, but I liked it out of all of them just because, cool. So Darth Maul is still alive.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you be mad at that?
So if we don't care about spoilers, just so everybody knows, the Titanic sinks in the end.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
So, anyways,
is there no lady that throws a diamond into the? Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Leo dies.
I know.
He drowned. Blah, 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 blah.
He's like, where's Aquaman when you need him?
I need a fish. Or a seahorse.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we're starting to hit, the territory of, I guess, coming back around on some movies. But yeah, I think that's another subject we can talk about. Some little redemption movies,
Yep.
So, I think that'll be it for this one. Yeah, we're running a bit long for this little episode. So,
it's never too bad to be a little long.
As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
And hit that notification bell.
Bye!
Smack it.